Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here, finally with another video showing my entire DVD Blu-ray collection. I haven't done one of these when I went through it and, did a close-up on all the titles in probably like 3 years. So I'm going to have to move some things off the shelf. But I'm pretty much just going to go through them, here and there I'll mention, some of the titles. But pretty much just going to slide through them so you can read them pretty well. Anyway though, here is the entire DVD Blu-ray collection. Now, right now we're going through the horror collection, and if you compare this to some of the last collection video when I went through the horror and the full collection, you'll see that some of the titles now have been upgraded to Blu-ray. Little by little. If I have something that's on, DVD, if I find it for a decent price at Fry's or online or things like that, I upgrade. Here's one that I love talking about, Bad Ronald. That's a really, really good one. I always mention that. It's a great TV movie about this kid that ends up accidentally killing this girl, and the mom hides him out in this hidden room in the house that they build. That's one I always feel like if they remade it, I think he's too old now, but Jesse Eisenberg, I always feel like could have played the Bad Ronald kid. And, you may see some of these that have gone out of print, and then some of the newest ones like Body Bags, which is one that I've talked about a lot, which is finally now on, Blu-ray. Blue Sunshine, that's a really crazy one. The new Chucky set. And I used to have, the Chucky DVDs, but end up just upgrading to the Blu-ray. Chopping Mall. The Cube films. Critters, which hopefully at some point those come out the Blu-ray. Carnival of Souls, I'm surprised that one still hasn't yet to come out. Crawlspace, which is one of my favorite TV films. And this one's out of print, so this one's really high, the price on this one. And I have all the... So, with some movies, I keep all the stuff, I've had, all the editions of Dawn that I've had, the original DVD, the set with all the cuts of the film, the original Blu-ray, Day of the Dead, and, the original DVD, the second DVD, the original Blu-ray, the new Scream Factory Blu-ray. A lot of times now, too, if there's certain special features that are on, only some of them, I end up now kind of putting the original disc in with the Blu-rays just to save space. And I have ordered the Demons Blu, the Steelbooks from Scream Factory, not Scream Factory, from Synapse. Hopefully those come soon, and I'll show those in an update. I know they've had a lot of delays on those, though. And that's the 555. That's like a DVD-R. I don't have that one that was released officially. Fright Night. I wish I had that Twilight Time Blu-ray. That's one of those, regrets. I remember seeing it for, $30 when it first came out, going, that seems a little high for that. And then now it's, $150, $200. Grandmother's House. That's a pretty good one that you don't hear people talk about very much. Hopefully Ginger Snaps, those movies come to Blu-ray at some point. So I'm just going to pretty much just go through these. Now the hostel movies are in those double packs, but I prefer them, on the single sets. All the Halloween movies. The Hills Have Eyes remakes and the new ones. The originals and the remakes. And that's the original Popcorn DVD. I think there's a new one that's just been released. I don't know if it's a widescreen edition or not of that one. And I have some of these, in the Blockbuster cases, when I got them when they were closing down. Of course, they're all going to be gone, I believe, in January. May try and go to some more of them, but aren't many around anymore where I am. And I kind of like keeping them in those cases because it's kind of just like a memory of Blockbuster. I have some things in the old Hollywood video cases. Summer Camp Nightmares, that was a DVD-R. That hopefully at some point that one officially comes out to DVD or Blu-ray. But that's one of those ones that hopefully Scream Factory would pick up because it's one of those kind of obscure ones and I could kind of see them bringing it back. I have the light on too so you can see these better. And those were out of print for a while, those Silent Night, Deadly Night, but I believe they're now back. You can pretty much get them pretty easily now. Like those Saw films, like I bought all those, you know, in a closing down Blockbuster for like $2 a piece or $1. Because they're not ones that I really watch too often, but I kind of want to have them. But there's like some movies that are kind of like that. This is one I really like. This kind of weird edition of Troll. But I really only got it because I really love the cover on it. It's like the same cover it was on the old VHS. A little hard to see over there. Now we're going to go through the TV, and this section doesn't change too much. It's kind of been the same for a while, because there hasn't been too many new TV things lately. Like, there's ones that I always get new ones of, like the Family Matters. And here and there you see some new stuff. Amazing Stories, I wish they would have put out the entire series. You know, they only ever put out the first season. And it's one of those ones where, with certain shows, they don't sell that well. They just kind of don't end up putting them all out, which is a shame. The Hitch-Hiker Series, those are the ones, the Canadian editions. And I'm interested in seeing the, they're doing that pilot for the new, Full House kind of series. Those Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives are actually pretty rare. They were kind of part of that Target deal, and then they all kind of went out of print. You can't really buy them anymore. Those are the Bobby's World ones that Anchor Bay put out. There's like some burn-on-demand ones out now. I think that Candid camera set is kind of rare too. You don't see that very often. And of course, these are some of my favorites. The Canadian Are You Afraid of the Dark DVDs, which are really expensive now. Like, I bought them when they were brand new, but now they're all out of print. This is the comedy section. The way I pretty much have it done is the horror section is all in alphabetical order, but then the comedy DVDs are not really in any order. It took so long to do the horror section, put that in actual order. And the thing is, I kind of know where everything is. That's like the TV cut of Clifford that I kind of pieced together myself, because when they played it on I think the Disney Channel, there were some deleted scenes in it. So I kind of took the scenes and then cut it together with the actual, like a better quality one. And I love this Bill and Ted DVD because it's got, Alex Winter. It's a screwed up one. So his face is twice on it. Clifford, which is out of print now. Yeah, so sorry the camera to cut off. I was saying Drop Dead Fred, that's one. It's a pretty rare one now. Matilda, there was going to be a Blu-ray of that. I don't know what ended up happening to that. It was going to be a U.S. one, but I guess they canceled it or something. Blast in the Past, that's one I really hope at some point comes to Blu-ray. Same with Kingpin. It's kind of surprising how many things that you would have thought would have hit Blu-ray still have yet to. Get Real, that one's out of print and sells for really high now. And I have some things around the top of there. Far Escape, the complete series, Inspector Gadget, Power Rangers, the original series. Those are the cereal boxes from Full Moon, Alfred Hitchcock collection. A lot of these are toys, but I have some movies around the top. The Dusty My Pet Monster doll. Gilligan's Island, the new Return of the Living Dead toy I got of the Tar Man. Now here's all the Blu-rays besides the horror ones, because like I said, the horror section is all in order, so I have all the DVDs and Blu-rays of the horror ones in order. I know some people don't like putting them together. To me, I like just having like a really good horror section, and I don't mind, if they're all together like that. I think the stuff that I buy the most are horror movies, though. I have the biggest collection of those. You may see some sci-fi movies in here, though. Some of those, though, make their way into here, because I kind of pretty much just put the horror ones. Some sci-fi movies, though, I put with the horror, but I always kind of like to just put them on their own. The pain, though, with the alphabetical is trying to reorganize things. I only have so much space, so I'm always kind of taking some things out that I don't really care that much about. So I've been trying to be a little bit more careful with stuff that I've been actually getting lately, just to make sure I'm not buying too much, and then, sort of selling stuff to Amiyville and things like that I don't really want. Now here's all the Disney Blu-rays. I have a decent amount, but there's still a lot of them that I kind of miss getting when they first came out. And I don't believe Aladdin's come out to Blu-ray yet. Don't really have any Region 2 movies. I need to at some point get a Region 3 player. These are sort of the drama things. Some of these are on Blu-ray that I've got to upgrade at some point. Some of them I might not. I've been trying to decide on that. Felice's Journey, that's one that I really hope at some point comes to Blu-ray. A lot of the Todd Solondz movies, too, are still not on Blu-ray. Waterworld, that's the extended version of the movie. And then down there are some of the things that I've acted in. Kind of try and put them all together. And those are the main ones you can buy. Some TV series, a lot of the Shout Factory ones. Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Dude. Pee-wee's Playhouse, which I heard is going to be coming to Blu-ray soon, which is pretty cool. And this is a lot of the documentaries. So, that was my entire collection. Thanks so much for everyone for watching, for subscribing, and for watching all the years. Those of you who've been watching my updates since the very beginning. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.